Hi everybody, this is Tom Gresack, and I'm here with someone that we've known for many years. If you're familiar with Allen, you probably know where Rodenballs is, right on Main Street. What's the address on Main Street?
102 West Main.
Okay. This is Gary Rodenbaugh. He and his brother, or how long have you all been here?
Been here since 1962.
Yeah. And we bought a lot of stuff through Rodenballs, from flooring to mattress to refrigerators. So they're very good. They're very personal. You know, it's not like going through a Lowe's and you don't really have anybody that you can talk to and ask questions. That's one of the great advantages of going with them. And again, because they're local and we support, we hope you guys do the same thing. But this video is going to be about the different surfaces now.
Well, basically, we've done the granite countertops for years. We started out with the plastic laminates years ago, what we all called Formica, and that has not been one that we've used in years now. Even the solid surfaces, the Corians and so forth, they scratch. So granite was a good option, but granite's very porous. Now we come to the quartz, and the beautiful thing about quartz is it's natural stone, but it's made back into a resin. So Cambria is the manufacturer we use. They're the only domestic made manufacturer that's based here in the United States. We tell them they're foreigners because they're from Minnesota. So we give them a hard time because Minnesota is foreign for Texas.
Yeah, it is.
But they're good people. It's a family-owned company. They offer over 200 colors. Now, each of those colors come in 1 cm, 2 cm, 3 cm, which are different thicknesses for different applications. They all come polished or matte finishes. They've got just about every color in the sun. It resembles natural marble, but now it's virtually stain-proof, scratch-resistant. You can't put a marble in an application we can with these. But what they do is take a natural stone, and it's just quartz, and then they take it and grind it into different size granules, and they put it back in with a resin. So now it's totally sealed, so you never have to seal it, so it's always safe to use. But now you can get it, more importantly, in the colors you want. You can make it have the most beautiful veinings, and they have where we can waterfall them down the edge. And so it's just so much easier to use than what granite was. But it's basically granite on steroids.
Okay. I'll have some more questions about that too. Do you do any limestone? Do you sell limestone?
We can get into limestone. Limestone's probably one of the hardest surfaces you can do because it's very soft and it's very porous. And so now just putting juice on top of it, if you don't keep it sealed, can soak down into it and discolor it.
Right.
Just dragging a pan across most limestone can scratch it and leave permanent marks in it.
Okay.
So that's why they're beautiful, because they're natural stone.
Right. And again, the true marble, not cultured marble, but marble slabs, those become very popular too. Tell me the downside of marble.
The downside of marble is they're very porous and they're very soft. So I mean, a lot of the patterns we're emulating are natural Calcutta marbles and different things that we get into that are natural in the ground. But now natural marble is soft and it stains. Makeup in a bathroom is bad for it. Red wine is bad for it. So you don't know when it's not sealed until you have a stain on it.
Is that right? And what if it does stain? What are your remedies? How deep does a stain go?
I mean, a lot of times you can't do anything but replace the top, depending on how it is. So it's something you live with permanently. One of the things, and this is not immune to it, these are all very heat resistant. Even granite, you need to put a pad down, because if you have a thermal shock and go from real cold to real hot, you can cause a fracture or break. This is still a natural stone, so if you hit the edge of it with a heavy pot, you can chip it. The beautiful thing to this being a resin base, it can be repaired and you won't ever see that.
Okay.
Now, there is no other manufacturer that I'm aware of, but Cambria, through us, will come back out for as long as you own this top and repair any chips free of charge.
Okay.
They don't call it warranty, they call it customer service. So that's one of the reasons we do it so much with them, because their customer service mirrors what our family customer service does as well.
Right. Okay. And I see little sparkles in here. So that's an option that you can. Okay.
So you can get in. This is a natural quartz top, but it's put back into resin, so we can have every look imaginable in here.
Okay.
You can come in like this with all the movement and so forth here. You can see the way it waterfalls up.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
You can only do that in the past with marbles and so forth, but now you've got that look in a quartz, so it's much more serviceable.
How do they do that? Have you ever been to their facility?
Yeah, we actually just take and cut it and miter it, and it's put back together so that it just flows down. But we custom make that to every kitchen. So we've got fabricators that are just phenomenal. They're really artisans.
Okay, it's getting so hard for me to tell. We see so many different services in the homes that we sell. It's getting where I can't tell really if something's granite, quartz, quartzite. Let's talk about quartz and quartzite. What's the difference between quartz and quartzite?
Quartzite is a slab, and they're very durable and so forth, but they're unique. Every slab is different. I can't show somebody a sample in a showroom and sell them a quartzite. We have to go down and actually select the different slabs.
Okay.
And because each slab, just like granite, it is literally the only piece like that. It is a fingerprint, just like a piece of wood.
Okay.
So now the only way I can sell granite or quartzite is actually take them to the slab yard and let them pick out the exact slabs they have. Because every time it's cut out of the ground, it can look totally different.
Okay. Now, what was the progression from cultured marble to granite? Then what did you see? It went from there.
Right now, the trend is quartzite, just because of the uniqueness of look and it is more durable. Quartz is actually becoming the #1 seller because now they can do just about any aesthetic they want with it, and the durability is far surpassed of anything we can put in there.
Okay. How long does it take from the, well, I'll ask you about costs in a second, but with all the construction boom that we're going on right now, has that in fact, I know it's impacted everything from lumber to steel to concrete. What's it doing as far as these, when you put an order in here?
Basically, we've normally been about 2 weeks on turnaround.
Oh, that's
right
not
now,
bad.
we're pushing it out to 3 to 4 weeks.
Okay.
We've had a couple of situations, some of the more popular colors that may be back ordered 4 weeks, so we may be 4 to 6 weeks on a few colors, but by and large, most of them we're still staying in a 3 to 4 week period.
Okay. Now this is, I call this a waterfall edge here. I don't know what you call it. That's been very popular. Is that still popular now?
It is. We do so many different edges. This is actually a triple edge. It's a cove over an OG over a full bull nose.
Okay.
And that's a sandwich. That's a 3 cm, 6 cm edge. So it's a 3 cm top with a 6 cm edge. So our entire thickness there is about 2 1/4 inches thick.
Okay. Yeah, I used to, when I go through homes before, I would always like to reach under so I could see how thick it really was. Because some of these, it's not a very thick piece of granite on top.
That's right.
But this makes it look like it's much thicker.
Just like this piece looks like a really, really thick slab.
It
When you
does.
come to the sink, though, you realize it's only 3/4 of an inch thick. So that's actually one of our thinner versions, but it looks very thick on the finished surface.
That's beautiful. In fact, we're going to be redoing our kitchen countertops too, and I actually love that. I can see why you've got that on display, and it goes so well with those colors too that you picked out there. Okay, do you have a designer, or do you rely on the customers, or do you actually have someone that can come out and say, I think this would work with this, this, or this?
We've got several in-home consultants that can come out in the home, and several of our designer qualified as well and so forth, and have designer credentials.
Okay.
So that's something that's free of charge. We don't charge to come out for in-home consultations to help budget and put it all together.
Okay. All right, let's talk about costs from all the way up, from the highest per I guess it's per square foot to the most reasonably priced. What would it be?
Well, when we talk about granite and quartz, granite's going to be your cheapest top that's still out there because it's more commoditized and so forth.
Okay.
And typically granite's put in 4 different price categories from group 1, 2, and 3, and 4. Quartz normally falls in a group 3 price point. So there's granites that are more expensive and granites that are less expensive. So that puts quartz in that $60 to $100 per square foot range.
Okay.
We don't price it per square foot because the ingredients vary on what we're putting in. One of the things that we're unique with is we include all the different options. We go out and disconnect the sinks. We disconnect the cooktop.
Okay.
We do the plumbing. We do the electrical connections. So many fabricators don't mess with any of that. You get your own plumbing. You get your own electrician.
Good point. Yeah,
We do all the tile as well. So now most everybody's marrying this to a tile backsplash. And so that's where you really need help for the design element to tie the backsplash together with it as well.
Yeah, Ron,
and we've got all of that as
we're gonna
well.
have to deal with that too, with our backsplash when we redo our kitchen. What portion of this would you say is your business? 20% of your business is countertops?
Countertops is moving fast and so forth. It's probably the #2 segment in our flooring section right now because we do this in our flooring component and so forth. And our flooring sales team help because they're out in the home helping them with all the floors and stuff. As you've seen with all the different floors, you can't tell what's wood today and what's woods. You've got laminate, you've got the vinyl products, and you got a
porcelain
the porcelain tiles,
tile.
This is one of the color prolific sinks, which is a really good option, but we also offer all the seal granite sinks. It's a granite composite sink, so it's you can get them in all different colors. But now faucets, we do the Delta faucets, the LuxArt, so they're all good quality fixtures and stuff.
Right.
We've more morphed into a complete kitchen, bed, and bath.
Okay.
Is what we've tried to do. I mean, we've evolved a lot over the years. We started out as radio and TV, so we've changed a lot from that. But now
Did you
we're
really?
doing full.
I didn't know that.
We're doing full service and so forth, and basically even getting into some light remodeling and so forth. And if somebody needs some extra stuff done, painting, texturing, we can help coordinate all of that as well.
Okay. Now, can we, Rhonda? Why don't we take Rhonda's behind the camera, by the way. Thank you, Rhonda, for filming this. I just want to take a look at, if you can come up here, let's take a look at some of these samples here.
We're probably one of the few that has the breadth of selection and so forth. If you go into the box stores, they have about 10 or 12 colors.
Yeah.
We've got almost 200 colors in here.
Okay.
So obviously, we also keep a lot of them in the bigger slabs, so you can see some of these have the movement and stuff on them. But now when you see a bigger slab, it changes. So we've got larger slabs in the warehouse we can show as well, so you can see what the movement actually does.
All right.
But you can, it's hard to tell because this is the one we've got on the countertop over here. And once you see the bigger piece, it really brings it alive.
Yeah. Okay.
They can come in, and because it's a resin product, with it, their formula is 93% natural quartz, 7% resin. So now with that, they can mix up enough resin to do any repairs.
So if it's like the chip was on a swirl, like right here, they
can match that color.
Fascinating.
It is amazing.
Well, I'm wondering about the quartz, and maybe you addressed this and I missed it, but does it stain at all?
No, it is virtually stain proof.
Is that right?
It's probably one of the most stain resistant products that we offer.
Okay, because I noticed a lot of people now are just doing the white, lots of white, lots of white. And I think about things like red wine, and
That's right.
you know, it doesn't.
They get into some of the really decorative colors, but white is probably the biggest thing. I mean, it's unusual because everybody has different tastes. They reach out to a lot of different things. We got a bright blue over here. We've got all different colors, and you know, for a beach property, that would be a wonderful property.
Right.
Wonderful color. That's not what we're selling a lot of it right in our home.
Or a pool bath, that would be fun.
But we had a customer came in that had tropic brown granite, and it was just a good neutral granite. And she said, "I want to do something with a little pop." And I said, "Okay, you know, pop is different for each of us."
Right, exactly.
And I said, "You know, what's your idea of pop?" She said, "I want something with purple and gold nuggets." You know what? So that's the first time anybody's ever asked me for a countertop with purple and gold nuggets. And we were actually standing down at Dow Tile Slab Yard, and there is nothing in their slab yard that has purple and gold nuggets. But now, lo and behold, if you go in, Cambria to the rescue. Here's a color called Princetown.
So they already had, they didn't formulate, obviously, they'd already had it.
They did not. It's got purple and gold nuggets. It's named Princetown, thus with Prince, it's the Prince colors and so forth. But it's also, they're based out of Minnesota. This is in Viking Stadium.
Oh, yeah,
So
that's
it's all
true.
the colors
That's
and so
true.
forth.
That makes
So,
sense.
and it actually would put it through her house and her kitchen and her bathroom, and it looked wonderful with her cabinets and so forth.
Yeah.
Very rich.
Yeah.
So, but you know, we don't have people knocking our doors down for purple and gold nuggets.
Right. Now, when you price these out, you have to, you don't do it by the foot. You actually have to go out and price the whole project.
We go out and price a project. That way we can make sure, because one of the most important things to us is where you put seams.
Yeah.
If I price it by the square foot, I've got to use every inch of that.
Right.
Of that material. This is not something you want to put seams everywhere. So we're trying to be real meticulous of where and how we place seams. And sometimes that can add more waste to it.
Right. So this would come in, what's the biggest, I don't know what you call it,
size.
What's the biggest slab?
The
you've
slab
ever-
sizes on these are 65.5, which is about 5.5 foot by 11 foot long.
Okay.
So that fits most of our islands. We do have some other ones that come up to 79 inches by 136 inches. So, I mean, it's just, they're getting bigger and bigger to try to accommodate some of our bigger islands. And yet, in a lot of our homes, we still have islands that are a lot bigger than that.
Right.
So we've had to do them. But now, if we have homes that are bigger than that, we've got what's called book match slabs. So even these with the big patterns, we can set a pattern that it'll be a mirror image. So we can set it down and put a seam down the middle of it, and it all matches together.
Okay.
So now we can take those islands and make them twice as big, and still be able to do it and make it look good.
And you can fit all different types of niches and corners and, okay, if someone wanted to do a rotating, serving, you can build
We
that,
do
something like
Lazy
that?
Susans all the time. and set those out on the table and stuff.
Okay.
But you can drop in electrical outlets in these, the pop-up electrical outlets. We can do all sorts of customization.
Okay, and as far as heat, how does heat, if you put a hot pan on this, what'll happen?
If you put a hot pan on this, it's not going to affect it at all. Where you're concerned about though is thermal break. So if it goes from real cold to real hot, you can crack it.
Okay.
So my recommendation, if you're planning
like
on
your
putting,
teeth.
if you're
It's like
planning
your
on
teeth.
putting, yeah, it is. If you plan on putting some hot on it, put a towel or a trivet down. I
Okay.
did have a lady that was icing down some shrimp. She'd been icing it down for a couple hours. She moved the pan, had no protection underneath it. Her husband put a 450-degree pot of ribs on it, just came out of the oven.
Oh my gosh.
It cracked
Yeah.
the top.
Yeah.
Now, if it had been cream of Bordeaux granite like I've got over there, it probably would have shattered and been all over her toes.
Right.
This cracked, we were able to go in and repair it.
Okay.
So that's one of the unique things about it. So there's nothing that's heat proof, but if you put a
Right.
hot pan on it,
Right.
it's probably not going to hurt anything. But if you're planning on it, just take some protection.
Right. And how, let's like, say if it overhangs here, how strong is it when it overhangs compared to other products?
Very strong and so forth. And we've got, depending on, it's a formula we use, like on an island, we have overhangs. There's a lot of hidden braces we can do back underneath it if we need to.
Okay.
But those are things that we look at when we're designing and so forth. But there's
Okay.
a lot of way to do some undermount braces to give us further overhangs, or sometimes you have to use corbels or supports
Right.
whenever you get into a lot of spaces.
And is the warranty through you guys, or is it through them, or is it both?
It's actually both.
Okay.
The installation and fabrication is warranted by us, and all the products are warranted by Cambria.
And how long is the warranty good for?
They basically have a lifetime structural warranty on it.
Okay. Well, you sold me on it, really, because that's
So-
just exactly what we've been looking for. Anything else that you want to point out about this, or that we may have missed that I didn't talk about or ask you about?
The biggest thing is we don't have the latest colors yet because they're all the time coming. Every year they add more colors to it. Last year Cambria added, I think, 24 colors. So they're all the time changing color and fashion to keep up with the latest trends.
Okay.
And so they will continue to do that.
Okay.
They just stay out there on the cutting edge. And it's all the time changing.
Okay.
So they're not afraid to make change.
And I love this. Is so popular right now.
Yeah, it
This
really is.
flooring and
And,
utility
especially the large
rooms and
laundry
some
rooms.
of the.
It puts a lot of individualism, taste, and so
I
forth
love
into the
it.
house and stuff. So you can do all the different looks.
Oh yeah, so
So
pretty.
now it's just, the subway tiles come in so many different looks and styles, but you've got a lot of different fresh looks that come into it.
Oh yeah. And we buy all of our appliances through Rodenballs.
You can go back in and even buy some of the retro appliances.
Yeah. To have everything in one shop, when
really
you're
is.
designing like this, and people
We
that
see
can
all the
help
different-
you. Let me get
See
over
that
there. I
one?
haven't seen that. Go ahead and do that again.
But you've got a lot of different options hardware-wise, which can really help finish off the different looks on the cabinets and accentuate them. Obviously, we've got a lot of different styles and cabinets. One of the most popular things today is the shaker style.
Yes, I love
So-
that. Actually bought our mattresses here
You know,
from
step over here, too.
Rodenballs because they had the Tempur-Pedic, and it was just
The
so
Tempur-Pedic
easy to
and
come over
Sealy are
here
the-
and get
the
them.
two top of the line mattresses and so forth. They're not the economy lines, but for somebody that wants to invest in a bed and so forth, these are definitely the way to go. Because a good night's sleep can be the foundation for all of us.
Yeah.
Well, once
Okay, everybody, we're walking into the area that they used to keep. What did you call them? Not damaged.
Scratch and dent.
Yeah, scratch and dent section.
So we still right now in here have all of our washers and dryers and refrigerators. These will be merged back over to the main store.
Oh, I love that you're going to have. So this will be a warehouse full of these.
Full of slabs.
That is where you're going. Okay, great idea. I love that.
Then we set up a full kitchen here too, kitchen and bath. That's multi-purpose for showroom purposes. And it obviously shows the floors, the counters, the cabinets.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, nice.
Shows all the different options.
Oh,
We
I
put
love
two different
this.
options in here. I mean, most everybody's doing subway tiles, which the basic subway tiles look great. So we did just a couple of different options to show people.
What are you saying? What are you saying the next wave is after subway tiles? Has it hit yet?
It hadn't really hit. We're still staying real bright on the backsplashes for the
Okay.
most part. The under counter lighting, the brighter backsplash is helping to illuminate the kitchen to make the kitchen so much brighter.
Aren't you seeing a lot of? I'm seeing a lot of quartz like this, being used as the backsplash.
Yes.
Just
And so
one.
we're doing full
You're
splashes
doing
as well.
a lot of that. Yeah, I am seeing that.
So
I
you guys-
love this. What is this surface right here?
I mean, it's just, that's a maple cabinet and so forth. So
Yeah, I like
now
maple
with
'cause
all
it doesn't
the-
have
with all
that
the
heavy
different stains,
grain.
It doesn't have the heavy grain that your oaks do,
Yeah.
the shaker style. And you're seeing a lot of the darker cabinets being used, especially with the wider tops.
Yeah, I agree. I like that look. It's beautiful. Yeah.
So are these going to be moved out of here and you're going to be having slabs? Oh,
Those will all be
great
moved out.
idea.
And then we've got all of these down through here that show.
Yeah, oh gosh, it's so much easier to see these
Look
when
how,
they're full size.
and look at this one. Look at this. How unique. Oh, this is the purple.
That's the purple one.
Wow.
So now these are actually only quarter size slabs. These are small slabs. We've got some of the bigger slabs over here, which is what we're gonna put all in this area here.
So these aren't just display only. Someone can come out and pick a slab right off your floor.
Yeah,
And you guys cut it too?
we do. We cut them and fabricate them all. So we've got all the different slabs.
And I had no idea you were into this.
And some of these you need to see the bigger
You
pieces.
really
Like they don't
do.
have a lot of movement. But when you get into a big Calcutta movement like this, there's no way
This is
in a
beautiful.
small piece that you can, get the full effect of that. So if I give you a
It's
12 by
very
12 tile,
popular
you
right
see
now.
this right here.
Uh-huh.
And now you can see what the full movement
Yeah.
is.
Right. We have a color similar to this. It's a little black, a little darker. It's called Baltic brown.
Mm-hmm.
And I see that everywhere. I mean, I see it in commercial buildings in their bathrooms. And
Well, I hate to say it, it's what the effect I think of kitty litter. It's a real small granular look.
uh-huh.
And I mean, nobody likes to have that resemblance and so forth. So now we're doing all these other bigger
But it was so
movements and
popular
stuff.
when we bought it. And
Oh,
I,
it was.
Here's the slab that you like. and
Yeah, I
love
really
it
do
as
like
well.
that.
Yeah. I was in the store recently and it's interesting. That's the one.
is that a big seller for y'all?
It is.
I don't want that to be my next Baltic brown.
Oh no, it's, that will never be in the league with Baltic Brown.
Okay.
And of course, if you want something really cutting edge, that red one right there is probably one of our more popular ones.
Well, I could see that in a workshop somewhere out in the garage or,
In some homes that would work.
yeah.
I think it would work.
I mean, again, those are very isolated, but they try to offer a few things for everybody to do something different.
But this is where we had just showed you those slabs. How do you advertise? How do people find out about you unless it's word of mouth?
Most of it's word of mouth, and we're doing a lot of digital advertising today, trying to look in search engines and so forth, because the traditional newspaper and television just doesn't hit in this market.
Right.
But most of it is word of mouth and referrals, where the majority of our businesses come from.
I really encourage you to come by and look to see what they have because they are, the service is there. They stand behind it. They really take a lot of pride in what they do. And I know everybody's competing against the big boxes, but there's so many advantages of going with someone that can give you that professional knowledge and the care and take care of you and stand behind the product. So we're big believers in them. Thank you very much. Appreciate it.